Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Arm Pitching Development. Today is Free Pitching Analysis Day, where I take a video submitted from you, the baseball community, and we do a free video analysis on your son, on your athlete's pitching mechanics. If you'd like to submit a video for review, my email is listed above here in the blue caption or the blue title. And send me an email, shot horizontally, pretty clear view, and I'll put it into the list for free review. If you'd like an expedited review, I do offer that service with personalized one-on-one coaching, and you'll see the advertisement. There is a link in the description for that page that you can go to and check out the service provided. Okay. So those interested in that. Today we have a 10-year-old named Ashton from Oklahoma. So Ashton, I look forward to seeing you pitch here, buddy. Let's get into the video. All right, let me play it. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. Ashton, take it away. Looks like somebody's little league. Okay. All right, Ashton, good job, buddy. Listen, we're going to look at a few core points here. I'm going to keep it fairly simple for the audience, for you guys at home viewing. We're going to look at balance and posture. We're going to look at stride length and direction. We're going to look at arm action and timing. We're going to look at transition from the hips out through the arm, basically the energy transfer, kinetic chain just a little bit. I don't want to dive too deep on 10-year-olds. And then we'll look at the throw, finish, and follow through component to their pitching mechanics. So let's get into this looking at the, one other thing for tribute today on our video, a neighboring kid that we all know here in the area in Missouri, from where where I'm from, Jacob Misiorowski pitched his Major League Baseball debut with the Milwaukee Brewers. And he had 5 innings of no-hit baseball before he was taken out. So we're all proud of you, Jacob. Congratulations, and in honor of your success, contribution to baseball, we're going to honor you with this video in your pictures, okay? So anyways, getting into it, Ashton. Sorry, buddy. Those are the formalities. Here we go. Take it away. So I love Little League. I don't know if this is Little League or if it's like comp ball. You know what I mean? Like travel baseball. Okay, so we got our set stance. There's a pretty interesting gather. It's unique. It's not the direction I would take with it, but it doesn't bother me. I don't care. What I will say this, going into the set stance, that I would like this to be shoulder width apart, Ashton. I would think that would be a little bit better posture to start with. And I do like the load setting here on the back leg. I think that's pretty good. I don't really have too many issues here with the hand set. I think that's okay. I just want to be comfortable. So if you can think about when you do gather yourself for your set stance to be comfortable and try to maintain as athletic position as possible when you're heading into pitch. Okay, one thing we're looking for is, are the eyes on frame? Is the hip in frame? Is the knees in frame? Going to target, and is the ankle headed towards target? So we want everything to be presenting its way down the hill and to the catcher, right? That all looks pretty much in check, Ashton. Good job, buddy. All right, as we head into the load and posture piece. Okay, that's an interesting, yeah, it's a little right there. See that inversion? I think so. It's like, Ashton, I think it's too much, right? I don't think we need to go up that high. I'm not against it, right? I think when you're starting out and you're learning the base layer of things, try to keep things as simple as possible. Complexity is the enemy of execution, right? So the more complex movements we have going on here, the more opportunity we invite into for error into our mechanics or into our space and time as we go into the delivery. So maybe it's simplifying this to like, a 50 or 60% load height and just chill in here a little bit, and then just kind of pitching out of a relaxed position. Again, I'm not really like saying you can't pitch the way you want to pitch. I am, but what we've done is asked for advice, and this is my advice going into this video, is to pitch a little bit more simplistic in your approach for right now. And if you get older and stronger and want to, add in some flavor, I'm all for it, man. Definitely. Okay, guys. So load posture, balance position. I like the chest position. I think from this frame it looks okay. It's just this front side here that I think can be a little cleaned up. As we head down into the low balance break position, right here, actually not too bad. A little bit of a back hip hinge here. I think as you get stronger and you get better, that will load that back hip a little bit stronger. Nice little tilt here. I like that. This all looks pretty good. I do want to be cautious about getting too heavy of an angle there, just because you could get stuck in your back hip a little bit. I don't know that that's the case. We won't until we carry on with the video a little bit here. This part looks okay on the glove side. Arm angle looks good here. And we'll see how the transaction of the pitch rolls out as we go a little bit further. Yeah, breaking on top of the ball, right? So that's kind of it's one of the things we look at, right? And so the hand position's breaking on top of the ball, which looks good. I love that. And then we're looking at that back hip again. That position is good, Ashton. It is. And I like your chest lineup here. I think that looks pretty good. You're still staring down the glove. The only one thing I might do here is see how your hip and your knee are kind of opening up like a gate, right? So it's like it's swinging a gate open. What I want to do is take your hip pocket, say your left hip pocket, and try to think that you're going to drive it through the catcher. Take your hip pocket through the catcher as long as you can here. So we would essentially turn this foot in and almost like lead your heel down this way, and then we would lead that hip down this way a little bit better. Okay, a little bit cleaner. I think that's something you can train and work on at 10 years old. That won't be that problematic for you. Okay, so pretty simple adjustment there. Lead the hip down a little bit better. Okay, as we go into, I want to go just before landing. Let's just look at the separation. This is pretty good. Yeah. All right, so we're looking at arm angle. I love that. That's a great arm angle. Great glove side here. This all looks good in line. Again, I think we could lead this out, and then this position to me looks good. I like your chest over your core, over your abdominals. Your chin's carried over your abdominals. Here's pretty good, buddy. Ashton, this is pretty nice. So let's head on to touchdown to hip shoulder separation. On this front foot, let's be cautious, okay, about the landing point. We don't want to be too heavy of a degree at night, like 90, because what you're going to do is dump into your left hip and then roll over to the side with it. So we need to straighten that foot out just a little bit. It doesn't have to be straight with the catcher. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'd like to see is about a 45-degree angle, okay, or 25 degrees, somewhere in that range when you land. So if this is 90, that's your 45, that's your 25, something like that. So we want to be a little bit more in line with the position of the catcher. Think of your knee as a hinge, right? It's a joint, and that knee only goes one way, the way it goes. So that knee is going this way, but you're trying to throw a ball that way, right? So if we can clear that knee to go the direction we want to the best degree of possible, the best ability possible to go that way, it makes all this transition of your upper and lower body a lot easier and a lot more efficient as you're going to throw the ball. So I think that's something you can work on. If you're sitting back here in your back leg, right? And then that'll allow you a little bit more time to open and clear out that front foot for you. All right, so separation looks okay. This could be a little bit more elevated, but I don't think it's a bad deal, Ashton. It looks like there's a little scapular retraction to the backside. That's good. We want to see that. So that's nice. Chin maybe leaning just a little bit to the left. We want to keep it inside just a little bit stronger, maybe. A couple of pointers there, right? So now we're going to go into energy transfer, right? So this is what we want to see from this point is the hips lead the shoulder through. So you want to see this hip, this left hip fire, and then you want to see it drive this arm into external layback and fire through. And then the ankle sometimes will follow, sometimes not, depending on how the guys are built and are moving. So let's see how, oh, okay. So here's the transition. It's a little rough to see, but you kind of get the point. Did the hip clear first? So the hip kind of, it's pretty close to the same time. Right here is what I'm talking about. So I want a little bit greater degree of separation of this going than this going. So almost like the elbow is leading the way just a little bit more than we'd want to see here. So that'll be something we'll want to work on. One thing you could do is go ahead and rotate that back foot, turn it, which will help turn that, and then just try to delay rotation on the upper half a little bit. And look up the drills on accuracy. At the end of this video, I'll post a video for your accuracy. Work on those accuracy drills. We also have separation drills, hip shoulder separation drills that I think will be important for you to train in. Just build up into your throwing progressions as you go into your daily routines, okay? Glove hand looks okay to me. I do want to present a rule of thumb for the audience on our glove hand, okay? So if you're looking at me here in the video, we have our glove hand, and as it comes through for youth, this is for youth guys, what we want is to go out, and then we have our elbow joint here, and then what we don't want to do is drop the hand below the elbow joint. We can take it through and in, but we don't want to necessarily drop it down. So that's just an easy rule of thumb to think about when you're working with your athlete, working with your son. I think that'll be a nice. So, but I don't have any faults with this at the moment, Ashton. I want to see the external layback. Okay, so this is squaring up with the target. So he is square, which I do like, right? So the chest his chest matches the catcher. We've got 120 degrees here. We've got a pretty straight leg. I'd like to see this trunk flexion come down a little bit. Well, we'll see the video here. So what is his degree here of height? So the throwing triangle actually doesn't look bad. I want to see a release point and where this comes out. Okay, yeah. I don't really think we got the time, but it's pretty close to about, what do you guys think in the audience, about right here, right? So it's close to forehead height, I would think, I think you try to release right in that area, and is the release is probably even with the foot. It's hard to, I'm trying to get there, but it's hard to, okay, there it is. Look. Lucky me. What? Come on, coach. It's too early for all this. Okay, so it's about front foot. We want to get it extended about another 3 inches or so. So we want to bend our back and hold just a smidge longer, Ashton. Right out here. Well, it'd probably be right out there, maybe. Anyways, you get the point, right? Hold the ball just a little bit longer, I think, and then try to rotate these shoulders down and in. Try to rotate that hip down. Try to clear that out as you go. What we don't want to do is crash off to the left here through the throw. So anyways, halfway decent, buddy. You're a good looking pitcher, man. I think you're probably killing it out there in comp ball right now. Okay, see how the left shoulder drops right here, everybody, right? And so that's, I think, somewhat of a byproduct of this the front foot landing part. I could be off. It's hard with just one angle, but usually what happens is we lock in and then we drop off to the left. but he got square, so it's just the hip strength maybe is not able to handle that just yet. So we want to rotate that in, we want to rotate that down, and then this can come on all over for long for the ride through your follow through, right, Ashton? So look at some pictures here that we're putting up of Jacob, and you'll get an idea. When I post these pictures of professional athletes, I don't expect 10 years old to be professional athletes or pitch like professional athletes. What I do expect them to do is actually look and see and get an idea of where they want to be in space and time with pitching mechanics. How do I get my body to do what they're doing, and can my body handle what they're doing, and to visually see how the highest level is transacting a pitch, right? So don't get too hung up, or if you're out there in the audience, oh, they're 10 years old, they're not going to pitch like major leaguers. I understand this, thank you, right? As we go through the finish and follow through, did he convert it? Yay, Ashton, that's pretty good, dude. That's what I was talking about. See how this rolled in? All right, dude, I like this angle. Well done. I don't care about that. Good to see D-Cell. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm pretty impressed. I don't know. Sometimes my eyes just get messed up, it's old. Well, don't trip yourself. I think we could get through it a little bit. Oh, maybe it was like a hit ball or something happened and you were running towards home. I don't know what it was, but maybe a missed pitch. Yeah, I'm not sure on the follow through. I don't know what's going on. I don't have a critique, but just make sure you're staying behind the pitch as long as you can. Think about getting the hand out front of you when you pitch. Land, rotate your hips, fire your arm, get your arm extended out front of you, and have your back hip follow your arm through your pitch. I think that'll be an easier way of explaining it, right? So if you're having trouble with the follow through component, that might be something that you guys could work in. Again, my name's Coach Jason. This is free pitching analysis for you, the baseball community, my way of giving back. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Ashton, please keep killing it. Keep working, keep learning, keep growing. You've got this. I'm so proud of you, buddy. And I'm so thankful for you guys out there in the baseball community. Also, look on that.